if I can get something with bare minimum work, I'm going to do that.
Do you hear it, men? Put these women to work. No,
I better go.
that's what she's saying. Put the woman to work. I think a lot of girls they'll be dating a guy, it'll be casual, maybe he said it. She's like, but it feels like a relationship.
Yeah.
To you, not to him.
Since I was 18. Since
because
I was
they have no
18,
shame. They're from that generation.
literally,
They have no shame.
There was one person, it was in Brixton. He was like, I said I was 16. He was like, oh, you're old enough to fuck now. I said,
Wow.
what?
Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we love to talk about all things dating, relationships, and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person and relationship we want. So without further ado, please welcome Danielle to the show. Danielle, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
A little bit tired, but we have energy.
I know. She was out last night, but she's like, nah, I'm going to be here. Hello, high water. Okay? So Danielle, I love to jump straight in.
Mm-hmm.
So first tell us your age range, and
Yeah.
one thing a guy should know about you if he's going to take you on a date.
Wait, my age range.
Your age or your age range. You know, asking a lady her age, sometimes people don't like to disclose that.
23.
Okay. And what should a guy know about you if he's going to take you on a date?
To take me on a date. I don't do short-term stuff. I date with intentionality.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So for me, it's like sometimes people approach me and it's like there's a difference between wanting to get to know me and then just kind of wanting to just have fun with me type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how are you approaching me? What do you want to do? It's like, oh, I'm just trying to link up, or you know what, I'm actually trying to take you seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. So you're saying that just serious, is it because you've had experiences where it's been short term, you're like, that's not for me?
Oh no, not that. I don't have time to waste.
Where are you rushing?
Not even that, but like for me, if I go into stuff, it's wholeheartedly. So I'm not doing a casual thing because I can't. A casual thing, you have to like. You're not putting your all in because there's no security there, and I'm not investing time into something where there's no plan towards an end goal or where we're like a journey that we're trying to go on.
So when you say there's no security there, what security is it that you're looking for?
I'll say, what's it called? Someone actually being invested the same way you are, because if things are casual, that means that there's no labels, there's no commitment, and also it can easily be thrown back at you that you knew what this was, so why are you bugging out when they're doing a madness? So it gives the person leeway to just be doing rubbish. And yeah,
I hear you. I guess to be fair, if someone says, hey, this is where I'm at, so if we're gonna get engaged and I want to spend time with you, but this is where I'm at, then fair enough. Like, you know, he or she can't be 3 months down the line being like, why aren't you, whatever. It's like, well, you said what this is, right? So you can't, do you know what I mean?
And I'll say it's also a thing where even with the intentionality thing, it's not that from the jump, if we start getting to know each other, we have to end up being in a relationship, because you're getting to know each other for a reason, to see if you're compatible.
Yeah.
But if it's just with the sense of, I just want to go with the flow, like the whole time, I can get to know you, but after a couple conversations, I'll know whether like our core values align, because that's something that's important for me. But then after, I'll say that I'll still ask if it's something that you see going somewhere. If you still want to go with the flow, it's not something that I can do.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So I guess for you, and maybe in women in general, tell me what you think. How quickly do you know that you want to take a guy seriously for a potential relationship? Like once you start getting to know him, like how quickly do you know?
I'll say a couple conversations.
So within a couple of conversations?
Yeah, but more being intentional about the questions you ask.
Yeah.
And also, do you have non-negotiables? And what is your standard for, like, bare minimum standard for how the person should show up? So if you're intentional about certain conversations and stuff, you can see that, this is not really gonna work, because I'm here, this person's there, it's not making sense, because a lot of the time we kind of move it to the side because we're interested in the person, but we don't actually look at what our non-negotiables are and the person's core values.
So I hear that for sure.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking is, how do you know that he's the guy that you want to potentially get into a relationship with? Like, how do you know, this is someone that I want to explore something serious with? How quickly do you know that?
How quickly? I'd say maybe a couple weeks of consistently talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, we don't know within that time.
Yeah.
We don't know if we want to take you seriously within a couple of weeks because we don't know you. It takes time for us to get to know you, because there's two aspects, right? One is I'm just going to speak very plainly.
Yeah.
Guys see women in one of two ways: girlfriend, wifey, or just casual.
Yeah.
Girlfriend, wife, or just casual is depending on like kind of what he sees, how she presents herself, how she moves. If we see her girlfriend, wifey, it's like, okay, cool. I see her as wifey material, but is she my wife? Because a woman can be wifey material, but she's not my wife. She may be someone else's wife, right? All of that takes time.
Yeah.
I think within the first, I would agree, I'd say within the first couple of weeks, guys can pretty much, let's say you've gone on a couple of dates, you're talking regularly, like semi-consistently, he kind of is seeing, okay, I know she's going into either this kind of lane for me or this kind of lane, right? So she's leaning in one way. But whether he wants to take her seriously for him, he has to get to know her.
Yeah.
Because it might be like, okay, everything presents really well, but how does she handle conflict?
Yeah.
How does she handle her own emotions? Is she respectful? Right? How does she move in certain ways? Is she the kind of person that we can have fun with?
Yeah.
Right? And not fun as in the like if we have chemistry, fine. But is there a level of friendship there?
Like jovial with.
Right.
Yeah.
Does she reciprocate? She could be on paper what we think is wifey, but if I'm investing time, energy, maybe financials as well, and she's not reciprocating that, right? She could be a great woman, but I'm like, this comes across as a woman who's just looking for a guy that she can come and take from.
Yeah.
Right? All of that, and I'm going to be honest with you, not all, but most women don't start reciprocating that energy within the first few weeks. They're usually waiting to the guy, okay, how's he going to show up? How is he going to move? Fair enough, right? As the man, we make the first initial investment.
Yeah.
But we have to give it time to see if she's going to reciprocate. And it's only after we've seen those things that we go, yeah, she's wifey. But that takes time.
But I feel like that's different. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Sure.
But so for me, even when it comes to someone that's going to be your partner, or like you can fully see the person long term with, it does take time. You have to go through certain things. You have to understand their background, where they've come from and all of that. And obviously with that, within a couple of weeks is not really going to happen. But I'll say the amount of time to see someone that you can potentially be with, that makes sense, that I'll say is a couple of weeks. But when it comes to actually fully understanding the person, how they move and everything, that takes a lot longer. But then the thing is, I feel like now we've gone into the culture of situationships instead of dating. So where we're supposed to be dating, we're doing up situationships or we're doing up talking stage. But the dating phase is for, as you were saying first, what category does the person go into?
Yeah.
Then like we move forward. But even that as well, I feel like that has been drawn out now with this talking phase sometimes, where people use it to basically date someone but without the title as well.
So why do you think that's been, when you say drawn out, what are you comparing it to?
So I'm comparing it to what's it called? Like people knowing, because like as a person, after at least a couple months, you know whether someone is for you or not, whether it's friendship or relationship. You know whether you gel with this person properly or not, or you know whether you want to take the person seriously or not. And not just, it's also the consideration. Because one thing about love that I feel like we don't talk about a lot that shows that you love someone is how much you consider the person before you make your decisions. So if you're considering something, you're gonna consider the security that they might be lacking by you maybe not making things official or not making things clear to them. And if there's lack of clarity, there's confusion. If there's confusion, that means that there's something there that is making me not choose you right now or not think it's you. But why haven't you gone through the step to gain that clarity? And if you're still lacking, and if you've gone through that step to gain that clarity and you're still lacking that clarity, then it means that it might not be for you.
So when you say gaining that clarity, are you talking about the man to give the woman clarity, or are you talking about the woman should be, taking the steps to find out the clarity? Is that what you mean?
I'll say both, because there are two people involved. Because if as a woman you're not taking the steps to gain that clarity, people can only do what you allow. So if you show someone that they can get away with mistreating you or treating you with bare minimum, they're gonna do that. As human beings, we're innately selfish.
We're self-serving.
Yeah, we're self-serving.
Yes.
So if I can get something with bare minimum work, I'm going to do that. So if you allow me, I'm gonna do that. And that's the thing where people don't understand that.
See, here, men, put these women to work. No,
I better go.
That's what she's saying. Put the woman to work. No, I know what you mean. So I guess here's my question. Why do you think, you said like these extended dating periods, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's been extended today?
I think for a couple different reasons. The thought of choice. Also, a lot of people not wanting to be vulnerable as well. And then, I think a lot of people fear, well, I say some men might fear, choosing the wrong person. So out of that fear, they're now prolonging it, they're procrastinating, even if there's someone that, they might think is their person, ticks most boxes, or maybe they might not be where they think they want to be in life. So it's like, I'm waiting until I get to this stage, then the next goal comes, I'm waiting until I get to this stage, which is also another form of procrastination as well. So I'll say it is definitely from fear.
I hear that. I'm not saying there aren't some guys who may be fearful. Guys are definitely afraid of choosing the wrong woman, for sure, because choosing the wrong woman is one that, for a lot of guys, and I guess I'm biased in what guys see, but they've seen their fathers, their uncles, their favorite celebrities choose the wrong woman, and it has destroyed them. So that is definitely a fear for some guys.
Yeah.
But in terms of a guy saying, okay, I'm not going to invite a real relationship into my life until I'm at a point where I can facilitate that, I wouldn't say that's procrastination. I'd say that's maturity.
Okay, but at the same time, why are you still entertaining me then? Why are you still spending that time with me and making it feel like a relationship, also without that security still? So we're deepening the emotional bond, but then I'm now gaining insecurities because I don't know where I stand with you. And with that as well, I can't demand certain things or demand certain loyalty from you because we've said it's going to be no labels.
Completely valid. So this is what I would say. If a guy knows that he can't invite a relationship into his life, and as a woman, you know that you're dating to get into a relationship, because not everyone's dating to get into a relationship, right? Some people are like, I'm happy to spend time with this person, and if it happens later, fine. If it doesn't, fine.
Yeah.
But if you know you are, that's where you do have to seek clarity within the first few months, right? Of like dating a guy, right? For sure. Because just because a guy or a girl, for example, doesn't want to get into a committed relationship, settle down, that doesn't mean that they're not going to date and have connections with people. Because you can have a connection with someone, we enjoy spending time, we're just not exclusive.
Yeah.
One thing you've mentioned quite a few times is like the security, right? Security of commitment, security of like, what's the, because you said about, okay, we're spending time together as if like, we're going out, we're having a really nice time, we're connecting. But you're saying I don't have the security because he hasn't said he's committed, or what is it for you?
So I'll say more security of like emotional security and safety, and that thing of actually knowing where you stand, because a lot of the time the unknown, that's what breeds overthinking, insecurities and stuff, because there's a lacking of clarity. And when it comes to relationships where you lack security, it affects you negatively. Because the thing is, no matter what, you're going to go back to pondering on, is it because of me? Is it because of how I show up? Is it because I'm not good enough? So when you are in like a casual relationship, or you keep on having casual relationships as well, it will start to affect you. I'll say, especially as a woman as well.
I agree, sure.
Because we like that emotional security and safety is needed. And I wouldn't even say just romantic relationships. Like if you have a best friend, you would like to know that, you know what, this person has got me, this person considers me, this person actually, you know, rates me, and they value my time enough to prioritize me as well.
So I don't disagree with you, but that doesn't, just because a guy says, for example, I'm not saying you shouldn't be exclusive, of course.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, just because a guy says I'm exclusive to you, that doesn't then mean all those things you just mentioned about prioritizing you, appreciating you, giving that, knowing that he's there for you. Yeah. That doesn't mean that's there. All he's saying is, this is what I'm not going to do when you're not around. Yeah. Right? But all of that, you know how you said about a friendship, because a friendship provides that emotional security. Yeah. But they're not like, you're the only friend I'm ever going to have. Right? So I guess can a guy not provide emotional security even though he haven't explicitly said he's exclusive? And the reason I say that is because I understand you're saying about, but these thoughts and X, Y, and Z, 100% understand that. But that's a you thing, not a him thing.
But even with that is a thing where if we look at, let's say, risk management, you're getting into something, let's say, what do you think the risk are? What's not the risk? And the thing is, you have a higher risk of the person coming back and saying that, I already told you what it was. I don't know why you expected certain things.
Only if he did tell you. That's different. Yeah.
But what's it called? But even with that, it's a thing where the lines can get blurred easily.
What lines?
The lines of what's it called? Of what the relationship is, especially when it's getting more intimate, even though it's supposed to be casual. So now it's getting more intimate. It's feeling like a relationship as well.
To her.
Yeah.
Not to him. And it's really important to make that distinction, because I think, and I completely understand it, right? And I think it's actually a reflection on how men and women biologically respond differently when it comes to intimacy, especially physical. Yeah. I think a lot of girls they'll be dating a guy, it'll be casual, maybe he said it. She's like, but it feels like a relationship. Yeah. To you, not to him.
But then he's also doing things that are similar to ones that a man would do in a relationship as well.
For sure.
And the thing is, what I do see happen is that men want that intimacy. They don't want to be lonely. But they don't want to be lonely, but they don't want to be vulnerable. So they want to have their cake and eat it. So it's not that he doesn't feel like it's a relationship. He's having his cake and eating it. So he's having the value of a relationship, but then he doesn't need to give the commitment.
So what value is she bringing that is the value of a relationship that you're talking about?
So I'll say, well, depending on the relationship that the person might have, but is that thing of, I'll say one of the most important things is having someone there. So having that...
a friend can do that.
Yeah, but it's on a different level when that's your person. That emotional intimacy where that's the person I can confide in, that's the person that checks up on me, and the physical intimacy as well for some people. Also, she might be emotionally investing in you as well, helping you with certain things as well, helping you grow.
So here's what I'd say. If she is adding value to his life in a way a girlfriend would. Yeah. So that means, like, for example, let's say stereotypically that what guys express that they like, not all guys, but most guys. So if she's coming over, she's cooking for you. Yeah. She's taking care of the home, right? You're going to friend's party. She's like, hey, this is the gift I suggest we could get, right? Or for example, she's making his life easier. Yeah. If she's adding value in those ways, she's showing up like a girlfriend, completely fair. Yeah. But the reason I ask is because I think some girls can think we're spending time together. It feels really nice. We're being physically intimate. It's basically like a relationship. I'm giving relationship treatment and I don't have the commitment. Yeah. But just showing up and being physical is not girlfriend relationship value. That's just kind of like, that's what gets someone in the door. Yeah. And I know what you mean in terms of like, but he's like, showing up in a way that feels, he's considerate, he's emotionally invested. just because a guy is, in a casual situation with a girl, that doesn't mean he can't treat her with love. Doesn't mean he can't treat her with respect. That doesn't mean he can't actually value who she is as a person. He's just not committed to her for a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we have this idea of casual is cool. You're just coming over for sex and that's it. There's no consideration. And then there's relationship, which is love, affection, consideration, checking in, right? Just because I'm not sleeping with my friends, that doesn't mean I don't check in on them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That doesn't mean I don't have consideration for them when they come over. That doesn't mean if they come over, I'm not going to cook dinner for us and have a nice time. That doesn't mean we're not going to go out to events together. So I think, and I understand why it's confusing for a girl, completely valid, which is why the clarity, who do you think needs to provide the clarity in terms of, or who do you think who should be asking for that clarity?
I'll say both people.
I'd say the woman.
I'll say most women do ask for that clarity, actually.
Good. That's
but
really
then
important.
the thing is, what's it called? Is two things. When you do get that clarity, because someone might say this is what it is, but it feels different, is knowing how to leave.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of women don't know how to do. Because the thing is, when you do end up getting into a toxic relationship, it's like, but they did this, that, and the other to me. But the thing is, we need to start to realize the part that we play in it. And I say that because I've been in a toxic relationship before.
Sure.
And the thing was, despite everything else that was done to me, I stayed. I allowed my boundaries to be walked all over. I was not able to realize what was happening. But it's not about blaming myself. But the reason why that happened is because I was never taught the tools. I was always told I was disrespectful when I was speaking up for myself. I had really bad anxiety, and also I just I was very big on people pleasing. So just being able to adapt to what people want, just because I didn't want to feel like I was letting someone down, or because I wanted to be understanding, because there were certain times where I was misunderstood and I wanted someone to understand me. So I was being overly understanding to other people when it was actually madness. But the only reason why I say you need to be able to see that side is because until you do that, if someone else that has bad intentions come, they're going to be able to do the same thing, because it's not about the bad person, it's about what you allow. So when you start to realize that, you actually have more power. But what happened was that you were not able to wield the power because you didn't understand that you had that power.
So I have a question. Because I think guys hear this, and that's completely valid. I'm sorry that was your experience. I think guys hear this and they go, cool, I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
But if they hear like a woman say, I was in this toxic relationship for 5 years. Right? And they go, but you stayed for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, there was clearly, sure, he wasn't perfect. If there's some toxicity there, that shouldn't have been there.
Oh, you mean you stay for a reason because of what the guy was providing?
Well, there's something that he's giving you that you're staying for. And then what ends up happening is that you start to realize the pain of staying becomes greater than the pain of leaving.
Yeah.
When that happens, that's when people leave. Yeah. But when the pain of leaving is greater than the pain of staying because of what we're getting from this relationship, people are like, this is a bad situation, but I'm going to stay because actually the pain of going is going to hurt me more. It's only when the pain switches that people decide to leave. So I guess, and you don't have to share this, you don't want to, but what were you staying for in the relationship, even though you could see that it was a bad situation? Like, what were you getting that go, I see this as bad, but I'm still going to stay up until a certain point?
I wasn't really getting much. It was more because of it was more, another thing was also a lack, coming from a lack mentality, because I was like, I'm more mature than my age with certain things. So
you are, I'd say you are.
Yeah.
You are, yeah.
Most of the people that I talked to since I was 18, they've been like late 20s to 30s. So like, not relationship wise, but just talked on a daily. So it's like, this person, I was like, we get on in that realm of what's it called? Where we want to go in life, this, that, and the other. But it was a thing where I didn't feel valued like that, and I knew it. But then I was just taking in the excuses. But it was because it was that thing of, you know what, we all make mistakes. Things happen. Like, he's making an effort. But what you used to do was like what they call breadcrumbing. Like, you give a bit and then take it back. So make a bit of an effort when I'm trying to leave, and then go back to the bare minimum. And one of the reasons, I feel like one of the main reasons was because the standard I actually set for myself. So because I wasn't actually holding myself up to my standards, I was like, you know what? I actually make mistakes as well. So I can't judge him for making mistakes if I'm also making mistakes with things that I'm doing, or I'm sometimes not feeling or if I'm sometimes not holding myself up to the commitments that I make to myself. So that's when I realized that if I hold myself up to a standard where I'm actually holding myself accountable to the things that I need to do in my life, if I can do it, someone else can do it.
Very true. Absolutely.
And it's not crazy of me to have that expectation from them. So when I saw that expectation I had for myself impacted the expectation I had for other people, I was like, okay, so that's one of the things that has to change. Also the lack mentality as well. And that thing of, and it's also the thing of, it's not about who you attract or where you're around, or if there's a lack of the type of person that you want, because it's about the rooms you put yourself in. The world is so big. There's so many different places that you can put yourself in. And also you're not like, the age that you're going to find love doesn't always have to be like mad young, because I've seen some people that might have met their partner in the late 20s, the early 30s. When is your time? God says it's your time. It's going to be your time. So like having your priorities as well. But then I'll say the biggest thing is understanding your standards and understanding what your non-negotiables are, because that just cuts out a lot of rubbish.
Yeah, I agree with you. We measure people through our own standards, and it makes complete sense that when you start to hold yourself accountable, that shifted the lens in which you saw how person or people were showing up in your life. You'd be like, oh, I don't know if we're vibrating on the same frequency anymore. Yeah. For sure. I am gonna push back a little bit on when it's your time, God will provide for it, all of that.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of people who, I think for you, you know, you kind of expressed about how you grew in yourself.
Yeah.
And then that meant you evolved. And then obviously, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine maybe the kind of people that you attract now is very different to maybe the person that you were with or you attracted before, because you've done work in yourself, right? So I think if we're talking faith or religiously, I think a lot of people can go, okay, well, cool. I'm just going to wait for God to bring it. And there's no work I need to do.
Oh, no. I
mean?
I agree with what you're saying. That one, I never advocate for that one, because you have to put in the work. Like, you, not just in yourself, like, you can't just stay at home and expect to find a husband or a husband to find you. Like, you have to put yourself in places. You have to socialize with people and be intentional about the spaces that you put yourself in, but then also being open to it as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, because it's funny. So obviously I'm still young as well. So first, when people, like, I'm on the road and someone's trying to talk to me, I wouldn't really engage, because I'm like, why are you trying to talk to me? Or in a car, if you're in a car, the last couple of years, you're probably you're probably too old to be talking to me anyways. But this year, I'll still talk, but I haven't really like fully engaged with anyone like that. But it was a thing where, do you know what? A person has actually seen you and they thought, I don't think I'm going to see you again, so let me just talk to you. And if it's respectful, I don't mind. Is the whole disrespectful thing that I'm of like, course. Yeah, nah. Yeah. But then even that, because I feel like now that has been demonized a bit more as well.
What has?
So like men like talking to, like, I'll say moving to women. Yeah, approaching women.
100%.
Yeah, like on the road or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know, I kind of had a different approach to it, because I was like, you know what? It makes sense. If I have an opportunity and I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to see this person again, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
And as long as it's respectful as well. Yeah.
Yeah. That is, it's very true. Just forgot, I do want to get into that. The one thing I was going to say, that I was going to add to your, about putting yourself in the right rooms, being intentional, what your non-negotiables, all valid.
Yeah.
But also understanding, okay, the kind of man that I want, what does he look for in a woman?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You have to understand that, and also being like, okay, have I become the kind of woman who attracts that man, and not just attracts him on a physical level, but also intentionally as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to what you're saying about approaching. Yeah, guys, most guys will not approach cold anymore.
Yeah.
They won't approach cold because here's the thing, back in the day, guys used to be celebrated for the courage of going up and talking to a woman. Now, what guys see, because the landscape is, okay, either it's a potential time for me to be called a creep, to be harassing her. I don't want that. And two, if that does happen, that doesn't just impact me in the moment. I'm not just facing rejection in the moment.
Yeah.
If someone's filming and everyone has their phone out, that could destroy my livelihood. Right? It can destroy my future prospects, my career. I could lose my job just because she responded badly. And don't get me wrong, I think most people have, I like to think most people have a sense of what's common sense in terms of what's respectful.
Yeah.
But one guy could approach you one way on a day and you're in a great mood and it's fine. You could be in a terrible mood another day. Different guy approaches you the same way and it's received differently because of how you're feeling, which is just life, right? But then if, I don't know, let's say if that's recorded or you call him a creep or whatever, guys are like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And I think especially because of dating apps, social media now, that removes the risk of all of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But what I would say is that if you're a woman and you do want a guy to approach you, you have to know how to send those cues, right? To invite him to approach you, right? Even more so, like just sitting there looking pretty, it's not good enough anymore.
I'll say even understanding what harassment is, because if someone just approaches you to show interest and you're like, no, thank you, that's all right.
Yeah.
And they leave you. But even I've experienced it as well. I'm like, no, thank you. And they just keep on going. And it's the uncles. Since I was 18. No, since
because they have no
18,
shame. They're from that generation. They have no shame.
I've been saying I was underage since I was 18. Sometimes you catch me now, I'll tell you I'm 16.
Damn.
There was one person, it was in Brixton. He was like, I said I was 16. He was like, oh, you're old enough to fuck now. I said, what?
Wow. How old was he?
Over 30. Damn. I was 18 at this time.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, like I've had someone told me to talk to his friend on the phone. I've had one man that told me that he's got Wi-Fi and orange juice at his home with his own TV.
I've got crayons at mine. Don't worry, it's fine.
This since I was 18, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he stayed on the bus because of me. And I was going to work, so I was so scared that he was actually gonna like follow me to work.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. So like I do understand why certain women have that thing as well. I think on men's side is knowing when to, you know what, no is okay. To just back off.
I completely agree with you. But do you know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
And the awareness of like sexual harassment with women, very important. Yeah. Not taking that away. But what that's really demonstrated, which guys know, is that the guys who actually need to take that on board, they're still moving the same way.
Yeah.
And it's all, a lot of the time, what it's done is just scared good normal guys who respect women to just kind of be like, okay,
Shy
cool,
away.
I'm just gonna back off. Yeah. It's kind of like telling people, hey, stealing things is wrong. It's like, yeah, we all know that. But the people who are gonna steal, they're gonna do it regardless. Like the people that this movement has really affected are not the culprits, because they were gonna do it anyway. It's just shied away good guys who are like, okay, cool, I don't want to be misinterpreted as that guy. So unless I'm getting strong cues from her, I'm not going.
Do you know what I think as well? Part of the problem is the young boys. Sometimes the older men are like, you have to graft this, that, and the other. Obviously, you need to graft, but they also need to teach the young boys that no is no the first time.
Yeah.
So because they've kind of instilled that, you know what, sometimes they're playing hard to get this, that, and the other. Now the boys are also, I'm applying pressure, but then it turns to harassment.
Yes, though I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think some women actually...
They like the chase.
Some women push for that as well.
Yeah.
Because some guys have heard a woman go, I said no, but that doesn't mean stop trying.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, guys have this in their head because what they've seen is, okay, she says no now.
Yeah.
But if I show her how amazing I am, by how I chase her, pursue her, show up, she'll change her mind. For some women, that is the case.
Yeah.
Right? Now, personally for me, I'd say to guys, if she says no, leave it alone. You don't go there again. Period. Right? Even if you can change her mind, even if she wants you to chase to change her mind, no. Don't do that. Because it's the same as when a girl's in a casual situation with a guy, he said, hey, this is what it is. She's like, yeah, but if I continue showing maybe how amazing I am, it's going to change his mind.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Right? It can in some instances if you really know what you're doing. But
even if you know what you're doing, is a thing where is not. So even me was like that similar type of situation. Not even that, it was like you already see the value that I bring, but then is a thing where if someone does not value you the first time, that's your cue to leave, because you've already taught them that they can get away with having you in their lives and having you invest your energy, time and everything into them without them doing anything, with them just showing up with bare minimum. So you set the standard for how they can show up by allowing them the first time. So if you keep on allowing them to show up or allowing yourself to invest your time and energy into them, you've set up yourself to be played.
Yeah, I think for sure, I think for that particular situation, I think what I've seen a lot of women struggle with is having the exclusive conversation. Because I think a lot of women wait for him to come to me and tell me that this is exclusive, this relationship. It's not on him to bring the conversation. It's on you as the woman.
I'll say it's on both people.
Nah, it's on her.
No, it's on both.
Why do you think it's on both?
Because you're both in a relationship.
But he's...
And it's a thing where, as a man, you're not dumb. You know, you can tell when someone's feelings are, what's it called?
That's an assumption.
Yeah, but you can tell when someone starts to move different as a person.
What do you mean move different?
So when maybe they might start to call you certain names, or they might start to say you're theirs or you lot are together, that type of thing. You can kind of tell.
If we didn't have that conversation, she's lying to herself. Why is she saying that?
But if you think she's lying to herself, why don't you bring it up then to make sure that there's clarity?
But because here's the thing. Okay, so men are the gatekeepers for physical intimacy. Sorry, women are the gatekeepers to physical intimacy, right? And sex.
Yeah.
Men are the gatekeepers to emotional intimacy and commitment, right? So it's on him to try, because guys pursue things physically, right?
Yeah.
Because you're the gatekeeper. So you say when that happens. If a guy's just going to sit there, is he going to expect you to seduce him?
I don't know.
No. Guys don't just sit there. Well, if he's super desirable, if he's super attractive, super successful, confident, charismatic, for a very, 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 very small percentage of guys who are the exception, yeah, they can maybe sit there and women will try and seduce them. Give you your Chris Brown, Leonardo DiCaprio's, Michael B. Jordan's, sure. For 99% of men, that's not the case. They can't be like, I'm going to get to know a woman, but I'm just going to sit here and wait for her to seduce me. And then he's like, why isn't she trying to sleep with me? It's like, nah, bro, because you're the one pursuing, right? Yeah. So usually it's guys. So when it comes to commitment, you say, no, I'm going to wait for him to come to me. It's the same as a guy sitting there saying, I'm going to wait for her to try and sleep with me.
But I'm not saying that the woman should wait. I'm saying that it should be on both of their minds to gain clarity on what it is from the jump.
The reason I say the woman is because it affects her more.
Yes. But then it's also taking away the responsibility from the man as well.
But as long as she's not lying.
Yeah.
As long as he's not lying, he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
So if you're dating a guy, let's say you've been dating a guy for a couple of months, there's been no conversation about the direction you're going in, but you are just having a nice time together, right? Like, no,
the man is less likely to bring it up because it doesn't affect him.
What I'm saying is, as a woman, you should not expect him to, because 9 times out of 10, he's not going to, because of the reasons you said. If he can have you and be open to what he wants, he's going to do that.
Oh, no, definitely. I do believe that the woman should bring it up as well. And more why I believe it is back to the thing of the power that you yield. So you give the man the power when you don't seek out clarity. But I do think that is both people's responsibility. But I believe it's both people's responsibility. But then for the interest of the woman, I'll say that the woman should seek the clarity first, because it affects them more.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let me give you an equivalent. It's kind of like when a man is pursuing a woman, taking her out on dates and stuff, but things aren't physically escalating.
Yeah.
So he's wondering, is she actually interested in me? Because some women will just enjoy the time, attention, and dates, and they have no interest in him. Yeah. Right? And those women know the reason he's putting in the effort is because he wants something romantic with her. They know that. Yeah. Right? And a guy may not be getting that. Is it her responsibility to tell him to stop?
I'll say both of them.
Well, this is why I say, as a guy, I say, look, These are the key things to look for.
So it's back to the same thing.
Yes.
So it's both of them. So you as a person, like, you're bad man for doing that because you know that you're just using him.
Sure.
So if you're a good person, you would actually say that, you know what, I'm actually not feeling it. I think we should end it. But then for the guy, it's in his best interest to actually pull it up first, to say that, okay, I don't really see this progressing. I would like to gain some clarity on where it's going. The reason why I say it's both people's priorities is because in relationships, a lot of the time we're expecting one person to show up first, but then it takes two people. Especially when it's new relationships and it's not old relationships where, you know what, I wasn't really prioritized. It's like an old relationship with someone that you've known and I wasn't really prioritized and I was always the person making the first move. So I'm not going to make the first move anymore to see if they actually do value me and want to, continue this, if that makes sense.
I hear you. I think in a relationship, that's different because in a relationship, you've already made that commitment of intentionality with each other, to which I completely agree. Yeah. It's definitely on both for certain things within a relationship. Early on, people are not entitled to anything from each other, right? Yeah. I'd say apart from being truthful, don't lie to the person. But I know how you're saying, okay, the responsibility is on the woman to be like, hey, I see you're making all this effort and putting all this thing into for me.
Yeah.
But what did we say at the beginning of this conversation? People are self-serving by design. So while that's a beautiful thing to expect, I don't think it's realistic.
That if we have two emotionally intelligent people that, are considerate, yes, the responsibility is on both of them. But then I'll say realistically, or for one person, the main person that's going to get hurt, their interest is going to be the man that has to actually pull it up because he's the person being taken advantage of. Yeah.
Like if they come to me saying, yeah, I've been chasing this girl for the past month, 2 months, we're going out every single week and stuff, but nothing's like, escalating stuff, I don't know what's going on. It's like, bro, she's not into you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at you being like, you haven't recognized that she doesn't actually desire you.
Yeah.
She's not going to tell you. Part of her getting that continued investment is allowing you to hope that it's going to lead somewhere.
Yeah.
Guys, girls know this. And you're smiling because you know, right? It's a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Fair enough, right? So as a guy, it's like, am I going to sit here and say, oh, women are trash for saying this? Or is it on me to go, cool, I need to get better at recognizing whether a woman genuinely desires me. And if I feel like I'm investing and I'm not seeing that reciprocation, I need to make a decision. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I hear what you're saying. Because the thing is, even if people are emotionally intelligent,
I do agree with you.
Right?
The only thing is, back to the intention. I'm saying that is both people's responsibility, but then when it comes to who actually, I'll say ideally, is both people's responsibility. But I do agree with you that the person being taken advantage of is the person that needs to be seeking clarity. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not trying to be difficult. I don't think it is both. I'll tell you why. The only person's responsibility to not waste your own time is you.
Okay. I agree with that.
The only person's responsibility for me to not waste my time is me.
Yeah.
So while I completely say, I hear, if somebody openly says, hey, I see you're investing in stuff, I'm just not looking to go that way.
Yeah.
I think that's them being a very considerate person and they're being a good person, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not their job to make sure you don't waste your time.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for me, what I'm saying is ideally, that is what it should be.
Sure, but not everyone's Jesus, innit?
Yeah.
not everybody is Jesus.
That's not what it's going to be. And it's not just, some people sometimes is that thing of not knowing how to have confrontation. So they drag it on. So because they don't want to deal with the fallout of rejecting you, they just drag it on.
As in like, or as in people are afraid of rejection, or
so they're afraid of your reaction to them rejecting you. So like a people pleaser. So because they're so used to pandering to people, they can't really say, you know what, I don't really like you. So it's like you ask for a certain hairstyle, but the hairdresser does something else. You just smile and say thank you, but it wasn't really what you wanted.
I hear that. So let's take that example, right?
Yeah.
Imagine a guy's dating a woman and like I said, she has that people pleasing tendency.
Yeah.
Right. So she's afraid to basically say, I don't like you. And he tries to bring clarity, and he's like, hey, like, you know, we've been seeing each other the past 5-6 weeks now. I feel like we have a nice time, but I'm not feeling that you're into me that much. Like, what's kind of going on? And let's say that anxiety or fear she has, or that people-pleasing tendency, she doesn't want to reject him. She's scared of doing that. She just goes, no. Like, I do like you. Like, I'm enjoying spending our time. He goes, oh, okay, cool. It's fine. But that's not true.
Yeah.
Because she's not into him. Right? Which is even more saying to the point, even someone who's maybe doesn't have ill intentions, but because of that people-pleasing tendency, she doesn't actually give the clarity that he needs because she's afraid to reject him. That's why I still say, bro, the onus is on you. Yeah,
and I'll say it's looking at if your needs are met more than what the person says their intentions are. Because I feel like when we tend to overthink things, is anxiety showing up, and anxiety shows up because we don't feel emotionally safe or physically safe. And a lot of the time when we overthink things, we're trying to change our mind on what we know we need to do, because we're trying to now convince ourselves that, no, you know what, it can actually work, instead of just accepting things for what they are.
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast, and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
Yeah, I think we have to ask ourselves, why are we feeling emotionally unsafe? Because of them or because of me? Because there are some situations where you might feel emotionally safe, but I don't, right? That doesn't mean it's the other person's job to then make them feel emotionally safe.
No, so not that it's the other person's job.
Oh, I see.
But because you're feeling emotionally unsafe, that is giving you the sign that this thing's not working out for me.
I see what you're saying.
So instead of waiting for her to say that, you know what, it's not working out, actually choosing yourself and saying that, nah, this is actually not going to work out for me. You are a lovely person, but we don't seem to be aligned, because you can see that they're not going to break it off. Not because you can see they're not breaking it off, but because you're feeling emotionally unsafe. And there's a reason why you're going to bring up the clarity. And if you bring up something to gain clarity and you're still confused, that means it's a no. That's one thing I go by. It doesn't always mean there's a no, but for me, if there's confusion and lack of clarity, I take it as a no.
Yeah, I think I think just looking at their actions, and are their actions progressing in the right way? So I think it's like, if you're dating someone, this goes for men and women.
Yeah.
If you're dating someone, if you see that their actions are showing progression in month 2 over month 1, their actions may not be what you're looking for, but it's progressing in the right direction. That's actually what's more important, because everyone starts at different places, right? I think if what they're doing in month 3 is the same as month 1, regardless of what they say, you know there's been no actual progression.
Yeah.
And so, because, for example, I'm just saying this, like, for example, some guys would be like, cool, well, if we're not being physical within the first month, she's not into me. Some guys are like, if we're not physical within the first few dates, she's not into me.
Yeah.
And what I would say to those guys, so it's like, so how do I know she's into me? I'd say, well, look, some women are going to be more comfortable being really physical with you early on. Also depends on how physically attracted to she is, how she moves, what her values are, right? That doesn't mean she's a good or bad woman. And some women, they're not going to be as quickly. But you're not looking for, when is she physical? You're looking for, right, is the physical side further by the end of month 1, beginning of month 2, than it was in the beginning? If it is, you know you're heading in the right direction, and her intentions are pretty clear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd say the same for women. It's like, okay, he meant to be doing the most straight out the gate, but are you seeing progression? Because it makes sense. Maybe I'm a guy, so maybe I'm biased, but it makes sense that the more I get to know you, the more I'm going to invest, because I'm really liking you, right? So the more I like you, the more I'm going to invest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, not going full in like at the beginning.
Yeah, and I think guys set themselves up for fail that way because most of the time they can't sustain that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like even for me, like I'd have to be friends with the person. Not even, I don't mean we have to be friends, but like a sort of friendship to feel comfortable around you, because I'm kind of in between two spaces the way I am. So I'm very energetic, but then I've also got the calm side that like talk sense.
Yeah.
But it's a thing where, do I feel comfortable around you to just chat rubbish? And like, but can I also have those deep, thoughtful conversations around you? So can I be my multifaceted self around you as well? So for me, it's like, even though I might find someone attractive, if I don't really find myself naturally being able to just converse with you, I would try to get to know you. I'm good at asking questions, but if I see the conversation's not holding, I'm just like, yeah, not really. But I think sometimes it might look like I'm not interested, but it's more like I'm just trying to not gauge, but then build a kind of friendship first.
Sure. So I guess, how do you show that you're interested while building that side?
Yeah. Or are you asking me?
Yeah.
I'll say I don't have to flirt.
I mean, that's what it's about, right? Yeah. Like, you have to show that desire. Like, because I think that's what guys are looking for. Because like, cool, we can sit here, but let's be real, guys aren't talking to you to try and be your friend.
Yeah.
So if you're like, nah, I just want to get to as friends first, he's like, she just ain't into me. That's fair enough. Like, you don't have to be.
Because like, I wouldn't say it as friends first, but I would just like, in my mind, it's more like, okay, do we gel together like that first? Because sometimes the conversations I feel like that's very important for most people anyway. Like that's very important to me. But how I am within the conversations with you, because sometimes we can have a convo, but I'm like, I don't find myself being as jovial. So then it's like, is it gonna work? But I might just talk to someone just to see whether or not it might work or not, if that makes sense. I wouldn't just X them out, but just to see if the convo can bang, if that makes sense.
I hear that. I think that's important. I think guys should be doing that too, right? Like, sure, I'm attracted to her, but when we spend time when the chemistry isn't involved, how is that? Because that's where you know she's your woman, right? She's your girlfriend or your wife. I guess, like, have you had the experience where maybe you get to know a guy and he thought you weren't interested in him because of maybe just the pace you go at? Or
I don't know, you know.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, but possibly. I think so. Because sometimes...
Say it how it is, girl. Say it how it is.
Not even that, but I don't chat to people like that sometimes. And then sometimes it's like, I don't know. It's weird.
What is weird about you? Are you a bit crazy? Are you a bit crazy? That's what this is.
No. It's like, I'm trying to think of a scenario, but I think sometimes... I think it depends on the season I'm in or the mood I'm in. Because sometimes it's like, I'm not in a mood to talk, but I'm actually interested. But then sometimes just the person doesn't know how to bust convo.
Sure. Is it possible? Maybe you're just not emotionally available.
Me?
Yeah. Like maybe there's seasons where you're just not emotionally available. Oh,
seasons. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Do you know what I mean?
Also with having a son as well, and then just life be lifing. Sometimes it's like, and that's not my priority right now as well.
Sure.
So it makes sense why.
So you're not really that intentional about it.
Yeah. I'll say if I do talk to someone that I see potential with, yes, I would be into, I'll make the time, but then it's not my priority right now. That makes sense.
I'll be honest. I don't think that approach works. I'll tell you why. Because let's say a man is intentional. So he's moving intentional from day one.
Yeah.
And if it seems like you're not, he's like, she's not intentional. Cool, I'm going to leave it.
No. So do you know what it is? I feel like those situations, it was a thing where I wasn't, off the rip, I wasn't fully feeling the person. Yeah. So, but I was trying to see if it will go, if maybe I might end up liking the person or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that goes back to actually, you know what, your due diligence at the start. Yeah, I think that one's a bit of a weird one. But because there have been people that like one or two where, you know what, we're talking and stuff, but I do make the time if they're moving intentional.
I think I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're saying, okay, you're only going to start to make it a priority and move intentional once you've seen how the guy is with you, right?
Not that. I think if from talking once or twice, like from talking, if I can see that, you know what, we get on well and stuff, like in the beginning.
Well, I mean, like if you've gone on a date,
yeah.
Let's say a guy asks you on a date,
Mm-hmm.
you go on a date. So
Yeah.
now you're kind of dating, getting to know each other. And you're like, okay, well, sometimes it's not really a priority for you.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're not sure whether you're going to be intentional with him. So you're just kind of seeing how it is. And then if maybe you start to see that, then maybe you would.
If I'm not sure I'm making a priority, then we probably won't even go on a date. Because the time. Okay. So for me, I think also because I've grown up social media age, I'll prefer to talk first. Because I've met people off the rip, they've like got my number and whatnot. It's like, I want to take you out, but I want to get to know you, like talk a bit more first. But
How long? How long do you need to talk to a guy before you go on a date with him?
Consistently, maybe about a week or so. But like,
really?
Yeah, like if we're talking almost every day.
Every day for a week before you go on a date? No. Nope. The only woman I'm talking to every day consistently is my girlfriend. That's the only woman who gets that from me.
Okay, maybe not every day, maybe every couple of days. But the thing is as well, is like, I think for me is a bit different because I gave birth when I was 20.
Sure.
So I'll say, yeah,
Can you not have a phone call?
Pardon?
Can you not have a phone call?
Yeah.
So like, let's say...
I don't mean just texting, like talking over the phone or that type of thing. So like for me, it's only, I'll say this year that I have been maybe talking to people or that type of thing. But then also I have a problem where the people that do move to me is mostly people in their late 20s to 30s. So like sometimes like 10 years. And then also is a thing where it's like, are you just talking to me because people your age don't like you? But then also sometimes
you know why they're talking to you.
No, not just that. But then I think sometimes it's like, it's a couple different things because I do know I'm more mature than my age as well. So I can hold conversations with them. You
carry yourself older than you are.
Yeah. But then at times as well, it's also like, do you think because I'm young, I'm just gonna... Because sometimes I ask certain questions and the way they're answering it, I'm like, bro, are you sure you're 30? So sometimes the emotional maturity is not there as well for them. And
Doesn't that make more sense why someone younger would match them?
Yeah.
Because you are more mature than for your age. And if I'm the way you hold yourself, conduct yourself, even your awareness with things, if I'm being honest, that I'd say you're more mature than some women I've met who are in their 30s, right? So you're quite a mature individual. So and they say typically, women mature faster than men, X, Y, and Z. So, typically why a lot of women will go for older guys, just because what they find attractive guys tend to build over time. But the reason guys will approach you, because you get approached by guys who are teens all the way up to their 40s, 50s, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, well, not teens, but like people my age, like 20s, early 20s to like, I've even
early
had
60s.
40.
Early 60s, just the whole 9 yards.
I've even had 40s, but then also is that thing of I have to kind of think like it's a bit more complicated when the person is older as well. Because even it's like, okay, if this ends up being long term and I have to take them to my family, and then family also, that input is going to be there. True. But then it's a thing where I question your intentions a bit more, because there are some men that are 30 and they're like, when they hear my age, obviously 22 first, but I just turned 23. Then they're like, I'm not chatting to you. So even someone that was 27, he was like, you're 22? Okay, I can't chat to you. But then I spoke to people 30 where it's like, okay, it's calm. But not just, so I'm not going to judge just because of that. But then also sometimes a bit of a red flag if you're like, our age is just nothing but a number. So
would you say the same?
Also that.
Would you say, and there's something I want to say that might help with that. So let's say women who, let's say are 25, 26, and they say they would only date guys who are like 32 plus. Would you say for those guys that should be a red flag if a woman says that? Depends
on the reasoning. Because sometimes it might be that the younger guys that they have dealt with, there might have been certain experiences with them, or they have better experiences with men that are 32 plus.
Yeah. So
some people, it might be because of provision as well, because the man is more stable.
So this is what I was going to say. Honestly, I think for 90% of cases, why maybe an old guy might, you know, try and approach you and talk to you, just because what men and women find attractive in each other, we peak at different seasons in our life, right? So men tend to, if he's working on himself, men tend to be more desirable as they're older compared to when they're younger. For women, it's the other way around. Yeah. Right? So it's just because you're a young, attractive woman that all guys are going to approach you. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not a woman, so you know, I don't get older men approach. Well, sometimes I do. But I don't think it's necessarily because it's like, oh, she's young, I can, you know, kind of manipulate her or control her. It's just that what they find attractive is just like what you have.
It's like, and the thing is, I don't think that off the rip, but that's just after. Oh, sorry, right. That's just after something I think of, because most of the time they start off thinking I'm like 25, 27.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the thing is, the reason why I know is not just them, the older women that do think that I'm 25, 27.
Yeah.
So I know that it's not just the men. But then I feel like me dating myself is just something you're kind of taught to question.
I think it's good. I think
as well,
I don't think it's wrong to move with like caution, with your eyes open. Yeah. I think that for the majority of the case, it's not because of the age difference. It's just because it's like, for example,
it's just more they've seen me.
Yeah. Because in the nicest way possible. So you said, like, for example, what you said, like a 30, 31-year-old. You'd be like, okay, why, right? If a guy was 51 and he was approaching like a 43-year-old. Yeah. It's not to do with the age gap. The 51-year-old would probably be still approaching the 30s. Yeah. The women in their 30s, because to him it's like, well, that's what he finds attractive. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know people definitely don't move to me because they think I'm my early 20s, because they normally assume.
Honest, when you said you were 23, I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
They normally assume I'm like mid-20s. Yeah. But the thing is, that's just something I think of after. But then, you know what? So first I was like, okay, if someone's 3 years older than me, I'm not going to date them. But now I've kind of increased that a bit more. So I probably wouldn't mind someone 30. But the thing is, what's it called? Is you know what? I think the men that are 30 plus were more intentional. Like, you know what? I want to go on a date and get to know you. But then also part of the reason why I can't just straight go on the date, I have to get childcare.
So true.
That's my free time. And that's the time that I'm using to work on my other things. So I need to know it's worth it before going.
You're not going to know.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
I know you're not going to know, but at least I need to know we can have good convo.
That's why I said maybe a phone call.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. At least phone call first. Because if I go and it's just dry, I'm actually going to be vexed. And for me...
It's funny, like, you as a woman, you're not even paying for the date and you're still going to be vexed. Imagine a guy paying for a date for a woman. He gets there and she's just not it for him. Do you know what I mean? That's so, like, or imagine it...
That's why I'm like, let's have the convo first.
But you're not even paying for the day. And you're like, this is a waste of my time. Imagine him.
Yeah. But also a thing where I've kind of grown up with a thing of kind of money being put ahead of me type of thing, prioritized in front of me with my biological mom. So when it comes to things with money, I'm a bit more wary. So if someone is saying that they're going to give me gifts or something off the rip, I'm like...
I actually think I agree with you.
Yeah. So even the thing of us going on the date, I don't want you to waste your money if I don't think it's going to work out from the initial conversation.
What would you do? Okay, so what if you went on a date with a guy?
Yeah.
And then halfway through the date, you just kind of realize he's cool, but I just know we're not in alignment with certain things.
Yeah.
Are you going to let him pay or are you going to split?
He can still pay.
You see? That's not very considerate of you.
But
aren't you leading him on?
He can still pay, but I'll express my lack of interest. But then that's something I've had to work on as well, because being someone that like being able to reject people, I always try to do it in the nicest way possible, but then being clear on it as well. Because sometimes I'm that kind of people pleaser, like, I don't know, maybe, but not giving a direct no, but being able to do that more as well.
So what would you do now?
It's something that I've been working. Yeah, I'll be clear. Yeah, I'll just be like, I don't think it's working out. Or I'll try and give it a try, but if not, I just wouldn't continue it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one thing that you think women struggle the most with in terms of dating today, especially kind of around your age? Because I know you said you found that guys who are older seem to be, is it true? Do you find guys who are older are more intentional than men around your age? Or like, what's your experience in terms of just dating in today? What's the main contention you find?
I'll say, for me, with the people that have approached me, the older men are more intentional.
Sure.
But then at the same time, I don't know if it's because of the spaces I'm in that has more older people, so they're
Fair.
the ones that tend to approach me as well. But then, because like what I've noticed with the younger guys, it's like, oh, let's just link up. Or it's like, oh, they hear that you live alone. It's like, oh, can I come over? And I'm like,
Is that
I don't
bad,
know
though?
you. But
like if you're dating a guy for a couple of months.
No. Like on the first time meeting
date.
up, yeah,
Right.
they want to, come over or something like that. And I'm like, no.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I get a lot more of with the couple of the like people, I'll say my age or just about a couple years above. But then with the older one, it's like, oh, I want to take you on a date, this and the other.
Yeah.
So I see the difference there.
Is that why you feel like you've become more open to guys who are maybe a bit older than you were to before?
Yeah, I would say that. But then also like conversational wise and I like people that I can learn from as well. So from that, I would say that makes more sense for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it made me a bit more open to it. But first I was like, yeah, nah. But then now I'm like, you know what? It actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be with a guy, let's say a guy who's around your age, wants a relationship, but he wants to learn from you? So it's more like you're maybe the one who's more experienced, you're just further ahead, and he's like, wow, I think Danielle's amazing and I want to like learn from her. Would you choose that kind of guy?
I'll say also, like, no matter what or how ahead I am, there's gonna be some field that you're ahead in. So it always has to be reciprocal. So at least, do you have those qualities of someone that knows how to lead? Of someone that knows how to actually, and not just lead like how I just want my man to lead or this, that, and the other, but someone that knows how to communicate with people effectively. So we get this thing where men are like, men are more logical, women are more emotional, so that's why I don't get when women say this, that, and the other. But if you're a leader, you communicate in the language of the people that you're leading, not your language, because you understand that comprehension is better than how you communicate. Because if you're communicating and the person cannot comprehend what you're saying, your message is never going to be delivered. So now there's no rapport being able to be built. But if you learn how to adapt, to first understand where they're coming from, to adapt what you're saying to get them to understand you now, it makes things easier. And then you learn how to compromise a bit, but then also bring them up to your level of how you communicate and understand things. So it's a give and take. So I'm not saying that men are not logical and women are not more emotional, but even though women are more emotional, have you learned to try to understand or communicate to them in a way where they can understand you? And also as a woman, have you learned to try and communicate what you're feeling or how you're feeling in a way that a man can also understand it? So it's both people doing the work to understand each other.
I agree with you. I think in answer to your first question, would you date that kind of guy who did for me? I think the plain answer is no, you wouldn't. Because you still essentially said, I would, as long as I can still learn from him. And I'm like, no. The only person really learning, right, is from you to him. Is from him from you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that, I understand that makes sense because as guys, obviously there are things that as a woman you bring to the table that we don't have, which is why we desire you, right? Like, oh, there are things that she brings that's complementary. That's why we want to be with her. But we don't feel like I want to choose a woman that I'm going to be learning and growing from. Obviously, naturally, that tends to happen in relationships anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not like an attraction trigger.
That's
for
not your
us.
main, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which then, of course, makes sense why. But for women, I think that's really important, which makes sense why typically they would choose a guy who's at least more experienced, older, whatever.
Yeah.
I agree in the sense that a good leader knows how to communicate to his team, right? To his woman, 100%. I think it is both that, yes, can he communicate to her in a way that helps guide the relationship, but also does she know how to comprehend what he's saying?
Yeah.
Because some women know how to, some women don't, right? Some men know how to, some women don't. So I agree it's on both ends.
And it's even the thing of going back to the intentionality.
Yeah.
Do you actually have systems in place in your relationship to check in? Systems in place for when things get volatile, for how to handle confrontation, for when your expectations are not met, but then also what's it called, for actually when you don't think something is going on well, or when you're not happy with your partner, how do you bring it up? How do you start that conversation? How do you have a safe word, or how do you actually check in with each other as well? Because a lot of those things are like largely overlooked, or a lot of people sweep it under the rug. So like, there was this guy that was trying to talk to me. I was never gonna meet him, but he was like 36. But so I said that, how do you, this was like the second conversation or something. I was like, how would you handle, confrontation? Or like, if you had an argument or something and it got heated, he was like, I'll probably, what's it called? Like, he basically said he was going to ignore his partner or whatever. And then the next day, he was like, I won't engage. And then the next day, I'll just come with flowers and chocolates. I was like, are you okay?
Yeah, that's like, yeah, I mean.
But it's not abnormal, because a lot of the time, men are taught happy wife, happy life. But the thing is, it's not it. Because basically what you've been taught is to just, what's that word? Just agree to what the woman wants without actually communicating your needs. And when you start to just agree to what someone else wants without communicating your needs, resentment builds.
It's very
now
true.
Things are swept under the rug and they're not actually addressed head on.
I agree.
So this happy wife, happy life is a lie.
I agree with you. Here's what I would say. I'd say that I think that aspect of the relationship is something that women tend to have higher strengths in than men. And that's actually an area that she can lead in. So if you know that you have that level of emotional intelligence to go through conflict resolution, to have this, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, I know you weren't going to meet that guy. Let's say that guy, for example, let's say you're with him. And that's how he's handled situations. This is your opportunity to help him grow in that area for the benefit of your relationship. So if he shows up the next day with flowers and chocolate, you go, look, babe, I appreciate the effort that you've made, but that's not how we resolve this.
Yeah.
This is how we need to do this. Are you willing to join this with me? And if he cares about you, he'll be like, okay. And so I think sometimes understand that as men and women, we complement each other. There's strengths you have that I don't have, and vice versa. So the areas where you're strong in the relationship, just because I'm the leader of the relationship, that doesn't mean that's not an area that you can guide us.
Yeah.
I'd be a bad leader to be like, you're better at this, but I'm still going to guide. Like, no, if you're better at this, then a good leader knows how to take guidance from someone that he's like, okay, this is an area that maybe I'm not that strong in, that I clearly see you are.
Yeah.
So based on your experience and your guidance, what's the best way to handle this? And let's try that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And I think because sometimes girls can go, well, he should know how to do everything. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right? He has strengths and weaknesses, so do you. Right? The whole kind of leader, follower aspect, that's just about, okay, in regards to the facilitation and logistics of the relationship, as in, okay, sure, he makes the decisions, but he can make a decision because of your valuable input.
Yeah.
That might be like, yeah, we're going to do your way. Do you know what I mean?
I'll say definitely within a relationship, you're both co-leaders in the relationship.
No, come on, Danielle. That's not
no,
true.
When I say that in a sense where even though he might be the leader, the thing is, within the relationship, there's so much input that the wife has.
100%. Absolutely.
That a lot of people overlook. And
do you think men overlook?
Sorry?
Do you think men overlook that? Because
some men do.
Okay.
I think
first,
men that are men that are real leaders don't overlook it. They see the value that their wives bring. But men that think they're leaders, they overlook it because they don't see how much time and effort the woman brings. Because sometimes that's when certain men will ask, what do you bring to the table? But then they overlook all the other emotional labor or the little things that the woman might have been doing to make your life easier and that type of thing.
So I hear you. I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
but it's those things that she's bringing. Because I think sometimes women think they're making an effort, and they might be, but they're not making an effort in the areas that are meaningful to him. For example, women think, I'm successful. Why can't I have a guy who's successful? He doesn't care about that. Sorry, he doesn't. Not saying you're not making an effort.
Yeah.
But you're not making an effort in the areas that are meaningful that he cares about. And I would say that the women who are bringing those things, that's why they get commitment from the man, because he recognizes the value that she brings. If they're dating and she's not bringing value in the ways that he cares about, she's not going to get that commitment. She feels like she's making an effort, but it may just be in the wrong areas.
I think that also goes back to communicating your needs. Because a lot of people expect, men and women, we expect the other person to know what we need. A lot of women end up becoming hyper independent and hyper vigilant with the things that they do, because it's like, oh, you're not going to do it right, so I'm just going to do it myself, so I don't need anybody. But have you communicated your needs first before you're going to the step of saying that you don't need anybody? And have you actually given the person the space to now meet the needs that you have communicated? Because sometimes what happens is that you're not realizing that it might be a habit. It takes how many days to break a habit?
True.
So what I always say is, at least communicate your needs and then look at their intentions after. Are they making an effort? They might fall back here and there once or twice, but if you see that they're actively making an effort to prioritize you and your needs that you have communicated, you know what, is actually okay. Because think of yourself when you've had to change a bad habit or change something. It hasn't been smooth.
So I hear you. So I'm being completely honest. Men are not taught what they should expect from a woman.
Yeah.
We are told, I think women are told what they should expect from a man. If he's not doing this, or this. And guys and boys are told, yeah, you treat women like this, X, Y, and Z. Some guys choose to do that. Some guys choose not to. As a whole, men are not taught, this is what you should expect from her. This is how she should be treating you. This is how she should be showing up for you. Which is a big reason why some guys, or a lot of guys, don't communicate what their needs are, because it's never been asked, hey, this is what you should expect from a woman. This is how a woman should be treating you. This is how a woman should show up in your life. So you're absolutely right in the sense that communicating what your needs are, etc. But if I'm being completely honest, especially kind of in our culture and society, boys are told how they should treat a girl, but they're not told what they should expect from her.
So I'll say two things. You're definitely right with that. A lot of young men don't have the emotional literacy to do that. That's why we have to start changing with us, the older generation, the millennials, with raising up the young children to help them learn how to express themselves, learn how to label their emotions, but then learn how to have a positive output for their emotions. Because those things are demonized, or maybe sometimes, regulating yourself is seen as, you're just being too lenient on the child, not realizing that they need to be able to have this outlet and they need to be taught and not punished.
Sorry, I agree with you, but that's not what I'm talking about.
No. I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying that I'm a solutions person. So even though that's what the problem is, this is the solution. Because even though we're talking about the problem, it's going to keep on happening if the next generation doesn't change something with the younger people, but then also with the men now. Back to what you were saying earlier, was that the women can take lead in those areas. Yes, they can. But if we don't change how we actually approach it with maybe the men don't change how they approach it with the men around them, talking about how maybe they've changed how they communicate or understand their needs with their wife, or if they don't communicate that to the next generation, we're not going to have that change, because next set of boys are going to grow up not knowing as well.
I hear you. So one thing I would say, I don't disagree with you, that men need more help in knowing how to better communicate within a relationship, especially their needs on an emotional level. But I think sometimes women say, the way I do it is the right way. That's not always the case, because men will share those things with their friends, but it looks very different than when women share with their girlfriends.
Yeah.
So the way a man will maybe communicate and even deal with his emotions is generally going to be different. But
even that, a lot of women are emotionally expressive, but they're not emotionally intelligent.
True.
that's the thing that we get confused. So we think that because women are emotionally expressive, they're emotionally intelligent, but a lot of women are emotionally immature. So that's why they also don't know how to express what they need. So that's why they have those expectations without communicating the needs, and then they become hypervigilant.
Sure.
And it's not just about young boys being brought up to understand their emotions and communicate them. Young girls need to be taught how to regulate properly as well. They are taught a bit more, but then they're not taught how to communicate it and what to do after they communicate their needs as well. So that's why you have, and also holding on to past experiences. But then if you don't realize what has shaped your past experiences and how you might have allowed people to take advantage of you because you did not understand the power that you had. I'm not saying that these people have not done you wrong. They have definitely. And they are accountable for that. But then you have to realize that without you making certain changes, you're going to keep on making the same decisions as a woman. So if as a woman you see that now you're making different changes, you can now communicate things differently to the man that you have now and start to see the change. But if you just expect a man to do certain things and then you get angry or you get hypervigilant and you just try to do everything yourself, you're going to get upset. Resentment is going to build and it's going to break down your relationship until something changes.
It's true. No, it's true. It's true. Ultimately, if we're finding ourselves in the same patterns with different people, we have to ask ourselves, okay, what is it about me that's either attracting this, choosing this, or how can I start moving differently? And that goes for men and women. Last thing I want to ask you then, because you have a son.
Yeah.
What will you tell him that he should expect from a woman?
To expect from a woman?
Yeah.
I'll say someone that considers him, someone that he feels emotionally safe around, someone that can communicate clearly clearly to him, and also someone that he feels safe with as well.
I hear you. Those things are great. That sounds like what you would tell your daughter or your son. Here's what I think is just my opinion. A woman who respects you and appreciates the things that you do for her. Yeah. No matter how emotional she is, she always talks to you with respect, even when she's asking you to step up. She never embarrasses you in front of other people. Definitely a woman who's sexually loyal. Yeah. Any sense of infidelity, you can love her and leave her. Right? That's really important as a man. And that she recognizes and appreciates the effort that you make. Yeah. You find those 4 things, you hold on to her for life.
But you know how you said what I said is basically what you tell your daughter?
Yep.
Those are things I'll also expect my daughter to know as well.
I agree, but I think go on, sorry.
Sorry, I'll say sometimes the way I explain things might be a bit more... I always kind of go to the mental health aspect of things, of how you cover it. But then also sometimes when we gender these things, it's kind of makes it seem like, this is more what a man should expect, what a woman should expect. But most of what you said is mutual respect, love and loyalty, which both people should have. But I understand why respect is more important to a man.
It's more of a priority.
It's more of a priority to a man.
So what I mean is, if a man had to choose, she either makes me feel emotionally safe or she respects me, they would choose respect. Yeah. If a man had to choose that she invests in me long term, and I know she's always going to be there for me no matter what and provide for me, or she's sexually disloyal, they would choose that. Some women choose, I get all that serious investment from him, but if he goes out and does what he does, that's neither here or there. Some women, especially with very high caliber men, they choose that. Yeah. Some women go, okay, sure, he may not give me the same respect that he does to his male colleagues, but I feel emotionally safe with him, right? Some women would choose that, right? Mutual respect, of course, but this is what I'm saying, a list of priorities in a relationship. Yeah. The things that we both express, of course, ideally we want them to be there in full. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is what I think you expressed are the top things a woman needs to function within a relationship. And things that I express are the top things a man needs to function with the relationship.
But if we go underneath what you said, it goes back to what I said. Because it's like, behind anger, it's not just anger. It's sadness, it's disappointment, it's unmet expectations. Sure. So when we go back to that, it's not feeling valued enough. It's not, what's it called? feeling heard and is not actually being regarded when it comes back to respect.
I agree. I think mutual respect is important for both. I'm not saying women shouldn't have respect and they shouldn't expect that. They should. I think there's just a different...
but like, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
No, but like even respect as a man, why is respect important to men?
Because respect is love to us.
Why is it love to you?
Why is respect love to a man? Because it tells me that you trust me as the man in your life. I think amongst men, there's always a hierarchy. We sort ourselves into hierarchy very naturally, and we have no qualms about it. Within the hierarchy, there's different levels of respect. Of course, I'm going to respect my co-worker who's a receptionist, and I'm going to respect my CEO, but the respect I give the CEO is very different to the respect that I give to him. And that's because I'm acknowledging the work and effort and what he's accomplished as a man, right? Especially in terms of the position he's in, but also in relation to my relationship, because he's the one who signs my checks, right? So I think the reason respect is really important for a man is because it's really to do with, okay, you trust us, you value what we bring to the table enough to, I don't say emotionally regulate yourself for the sake of the relationship, but I guess it's kind of that, yeah.
And then also, how do you feel as a man when your woman respects you?
You feel like the hero and you want to do for her. Because it's I know she respects what I do.
Yeah. No, but okay, so outside, why do you feel like a hero?
Why?
Yeah. So like, why do you want to be a hero?
I think that's just the male desire. I think every man wants to be the hero for his woman and he wants to do for her, right? Because he gets that love and respect and that makes me go, I want to do more.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Great. Amazing.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But then also, when it comes to, what's it called? The respect as well. What does the disrespect make you feel like?
Unloved, for sure.
Pardon?
Unloved.
Unloved.
Yep.
And when you feel unloved, do you feel betrayed as well?
Yeah.
And also when it comes to...
Yeah, she's doing her psychology on me, you know. I can see it coming into play. She has become the master. I'm here for it. Go for it. Go for it.
When it comes to feeling unloved as well, do you feel like you're unvalued and your the work you're putting in is not really seen?
You don't feel seen.
Yeah.
Don't feel seen.
You don't feel heard.
I think it's seen for guys over heard because
you want to be recognized at least as a thank you, even if it's not outwardly.
Yeah. Shall I tell you what I think it is in a nutshell? I think women are born with value. We have to create our value. And by default, we have to bring more values to the table for you to even entertain a relationship with us. Because if we're not, why do you even entertain it? Right? So you know how you're like, I want to be with a guy who I can learn from, who I'm going to grow from. Right? And it's just not saying women don't bring things to the table, of course, right? And the intangible things she brings is what makes a man commit in the first place. But as a guy, like a lot of the list that women have for guys, they don't even fulfill half of them themselves a lot of the time, right? So I know as a guy, by default, I have to bring more to the table than you, right? For you to even entertain me for a serious relationship. But I still want appreciation for that.
Yeah. So also, if we go back as well to a man being a leader.
Yes.
When it comes to leadership, what did we say? Communication is one of the most important things. Not just how you communicate, the person comprehending as well, and you comprehending.
Very true.
So when it comes to relationships and the strengthening and the bedrock of a relationship, what would you say is one of the most important things?
Trust.
What else would you say? I'll say 3. Respect.
Trust, respect, and duty.
So not communication.
Oh, yeah, communication. That's a given. Oh, sorry, yes. I think communication,
Yeah, so that's why, for me, with out of most of the things I said, I'll say that's one of the most important things.
Yes,
because
I agree.
That is what makes or breaks, because that's when you set the standard. That's where you get clarity. That's where you voice out your nuances. That's where we have the repair. And also one thing that breaks down a lot of relationships is the expectations, not just romantic relationships, friendships and this, that, and the other, because people expect it to just be rosy. And even when it comes to healing, it's not always going to be good. It's about how to repair and knowing how to repair without staying stuck on being hurt.
I agree.
So when we know how to repair, we understand that, you know what, this is something that is temporary.
Yeah.
So now the resentment is not going to be held because we now have a system in place for repair. Amen. Which a lot of people don't have now. So for me, that's why that's one of the most important things, because respect, that's a given. And not just for respect as a man, even in a sense of mental health, back to the thing of women staying when they're not desired or loved and thing, is going back to respecting yourself.
I completely agree.
Before someone else can respect you, you need to respect yourself. And by respecting yourself means that you're holding other people accountable for them respecting you by setting boundaries, and not just setting boundaries, but also making sure that there's a consequence for them crossing their boundaries. Yeah. Because I used to think I had boundaries, but no, my boundaries only came after they had been walked all over, stomped all over and dashed away. Those were not boundaries. It's when you actually leave and there's a consequence for them crossing the boundaries that it actually makes sense and it holds weight. Sorry, I just went off.
No, I love it. I love it, man. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And having a system in place to deal with that. Listen, we're gonna wrap it there. Right? You know, that's been so fruitful, and actually given some things I'm like, okay, I hadn't seen it that way, but I love that. Thank you for coming on and sharing your energy with us.
Thank you for having me.
People want to follow you, see what you're up to, where can they find you? Like, plug your Instagram.
My Instagram is Danie_Cole. Is DANIE_COLLE on Instagram and TikTok. Also, I'm actually working on a book called it was supposed to just be a resource, but I kind of ended up being a book. So I was like, amazing. You know what? Yeah, how to navigate the grey area.
Good for you.
Because the grey area is kind of like the space between where you can lose your values and your standards and maybe give someone a chance, but is how to make the decision between, is that thing where you communicate your needs and then you see what follows.
Is that just for women or is it for men?
Oh no, it's for men and women. Both? Yeah,
okay,
both.
Cool, nice.
Yeah, so it's about how to make the informed decisions without going on the extreme end of the spectrum. Because some people go from having no boundaries to cutting everybody off. Some people go from having strict boundaries to now, I'm just trying to be vulnerable to everyone, and you're just opening yourself up to any and everybody, which doesn't really work like that.
Find the balance. That sounds very valuable, actually. Yeah, tell me about it. I think, might suggest it to my audience. Danielle, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guys, go give her a follow, give her a like, all that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.